Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Chef A. That's what you guys mostly know me as. But if you don't know, my name is also Angel. That's my real name. You can call me either or. But, this video is obviously titled Introduction to a Holistic Lifestyle and Maintaining a Nutritious, Balanced Health. And, I just want to give like a little bit of a backstory on me since you guys have never really, seen anything beyond, my recipes, at least unless you don't watch my stories. But, mostly what I post on my page is just recipes. So, why I even started this page is because, I got led down a path of better health and whatnot, and also just going deeper within spiritually to where, I didn't really support the animal cruelty as much or not at all, really. And also just wanting to make better health choices for myself, um, focusing more on self love and self care because, I personally believe whatever you consume, put into your body is also a part of, taking care of yourself and loving yourself as well. So I made the conscious choice to, slowly but surely ease into a healthier lifestyle, and I'm still learning myself. So yeah, and I just hope that, by me posting all these videos, that it would, of course, reach anyone that may be on a similar path as me or the same path and whatnot, and or they're just simply interested in vegan recipes. They constantly hear about it because it's definitely increasing rapidly as far as the popularity of it. um and now I just wanted to like expand a little bit on my page and start to collaborate with more people because of course I'm more so educated on just recipes. I went to culinary school, so that's really my specialty personally, but I wanted to expand and bring on more people that are more educated in other areas, especially when it comes to the human body and how everyone's body functions and whatnot. So yeah, this path of me posting videos has led me to meeting Yakima. I had a bioscan session with her to learn more about my body. And yeah, I just wanted to introduce her to you guys. And yeah, so who is Yakima and what do you do?
Hi, Chef Angel. Thank you so much for inviting me on your platform. You are an amazing chef, and I've been following you and watching your Instagram reels. And girl, you cook, and it tastes good. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you again for inviting me, and I appreciate you. Um, my name is Yakima Palmer. I am a healer and educator. I empower people to live their life holistically and educate you on how to do that naturally. Um, I'm a holistic wellness practitioner and the founder of Yaks Wellness, a holistic wellness consulting service.
Mhm. Yeah, that's beautiful. I wanted to ask what life experiences, revelations has life given you to lead you down this path?
Well, what led me down this path was a long journey. I must say that as a kid, I suffered from asthma, taking a lot of medication for my asthma, sinus problems. As I've gotten older, I developed high blood pressure and was put on medication for high blood pressure. And working in healthcare for over 25 years, I realized that medication was not the answer for me, and that me taking this medicine every day was not helping me at all. So I wanted to find a solution. And that solution led me to going further in my education on understanding how the human body works and how natural health care is the way for me to go so that I can get off medication. So what I did was I started doing research and starting eating better, exercising, and understanding how my body is working and functioning based on the foods that I was putting in my body. And from that led me to not having to take medication anymore. I am no longer on asthma medicine or high blood pressure medication. So
Hmm.
I'm here to help other people understand how they could take care of themselves and get off any type of medication or learn how to control the dis-ease that they may have in their body.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's also even more amazing that, You're deciding to share that with so many people and helping them, so much more than you know. I recall you mentioning that you decided to start eating more healthier foods. So would you say that you're vegan or do you mostly eat vegan? Like, what does that look like?
So I would say that I am not all the way vegan. I do eat 75% of my meals are raw, and I do consume fish, and the fish that I do consume is wild caught only. But I do not eat dairy or red meat products.
Hmm. Okay. And you've noticed that significant difference. You were able to still heal all of those issues from that diet.
Yes, and that's because processed foods is causing inflammation. And when you're eating foods that are causing your body to be inflamed, that's what causes the diseases in your body. And I'm stressing the fact of disease because it can be reversed. And people think that just because, I'm having this problem or my liver or my kidneys or my heart is not working, that I can't get rid of this. And you can. It's all based on how you are living your life.
And so, as far as like everybody's body, would you say that, everyone is different when it comes to that and that everyone's body will require a different diet? Or do you feel that we're all designed to consume majority of the same things? Like, let's say someone wanted to try out the same diet as you consuming 75% raw and then still consuming fish and stuff like that. Do you feel that that could work for everyone or will it differ for everyone?
No, it's going to differ from everyone. As we all know, we are all different people. Our DNA is made up totally different. So, what one person does doesn't mean that the same person can do that. Our genetics are made up different. What we've been exposed to as kids is makes up our immune system. So, just because I can eat a raw based diet doesn't mean somebody else can too. And it may affect me differently, of course, than you. So
Hmm.
we are all genetically made up different and do not require the same diets.
Yeah. And I just wanted to quickly mention that, neither one of us are like, licensed doctors, medical professionals, or nutritionists of any kind, nor are we intending to spread any sort of false information, misinformation, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, definitely use your own discernment when it comes to making the right choices for you and your diet, and definitely consult with an actual doctor. Also, that's what we recommend before, you know, making any changes to decide what's best for you.
Right.
Um, and I also wanted to talk a little bit about, animal protein and, the effects that it has on the body. Because it's also, very much rumored now that when it comes to, them consuming, the meats and stuff like that, and some people on one side they feel that that's really essential for living a healthier life, and then there's also newer studies that are showing that this is actually more so detrimental to our health, and it's actually causing a lot of the diseases, the inflammation, that you mentioned as well. So I just wanted to speak a little bit on that because you also say that everyone's body is different, so you feel that some people's bodies they can handle the animal protein versus others them not being able to?
So let me address your first question. How animal protein affects the body. And animal protein affects our body for one, it is increases the risk of cancer. That's number one. It causes inflammation in your body. It is allowing the blood vessels to get inflamed. You have a high risk of cholesterol, which is plaque, also into the bloodstream. There's no fiber in animal protein, and you need fiber in order for you to have good gut health. So some people can eat red meat and some people can't. And I don't want to get into this, but I will mention that depending on your blood type, for instance, type O, can digest red meat more than a person with A or AB or B blood type.
Hmm. And even when it comes to actually, even chewing the meat, I've heard also that our teeth they don't even have the ability to fully break down the meats as well to really have like proper digestion.
Because our teeth are molars. Humans have molars, and our teeth are made for grinding, um, and not how can I say, our teeth are made for grinding because we have molars. Animals have sharp canine teeth, so they have the ability to be able to cut up and shred up animal protein than we as humans do.
Hmm. And I remember also having a conversation with you before, as far as like, the metaphor, as far as, food sitting in the 100-degree weather for days. Could you like break that down for them? Just,
Sure, sure. So the example I was giving is how our body digests protein compared to an animal. Our body temperature is usually at 97, 98 degrees. And animals' body temperature is over that, over 100 degrees. So their body temperature is able to break down the protein and digest it faster than humans. For instance, you have a steak. You're living in Chicago or anywhere, and it's 100 degrees outside, and a piece of meat, a steak, falls on the ground. By all means, I would hope you're going to pick that steak up and toss it in the garbage. You go to the garbage 2 days later, that steak is still sitting in there. What's going on with that steak in 2 days and it's still 99, 100 degrees or 97 degrees outside?
hmm
It's creating, it smells, it's creating maggots, the meat is turning different colors, and just imagine what it's doing in your body. Your body takes 2 to 3 days to process that meat, and it's causing bacteria to accumulate inside of the body as well as parasites. So it's important that you understand how there's no fiber in this meat. So how is it digested in your body? And look at how long it's sitting in your body and what it's doing to your intestines.
So the difference with, meats versus fresh fruits and veggies, you feel that meats will stay in your system longer than that?
Oh, definitely. For instance, fruits and vegetables can pass through your body in 30 minutes, 30
Hmm.
minutes to an hour, just depends on the vegetable. Rooted vegetables take a little longer, maybe an hour compared to cucumbers may take 30 minutes to digest in your body. And
Hmm.
also, when you're digesting those fruits and vegetables, you're also digesting the nutrients in your body. So you're getting your nutrients and your fiber that's going to help that gut health.
So let's say someone is still choosing to consume meat. What if they also choose to consume just as much, fresh fruits and vegetables? Do you feel that the digestion could improve with that? Like if they balance that out?
Everybody's body is different. Like I said, and I just say some people can digest meat products than others.
Hmm.
But imagine what is going on inside of your body when you are digesting this meat product. As I mentioned, it's causing inflammation, it's causing cancer, it's causing a lot of diseases in the body. And if you want to eliminate that, then you got to eliminate the culprit.
Hmm. So I wanted to speak a little bit on the raw foods versus the cooked foods, and just how even as like on a vegan diet, I heard that even consuming the cooked foods can still have a negative effect on the body if you're not consuming enough raw foods. So could you just like break that down and why raw foods are considered to be more healthy than the cooked foods?
Raw foods is at its purest form. It's raw. So when you're eating raw, you're getting all of your nutrients are being absorbed into the body. Once you cook your vegetables, then you're cooking out your nutrients. So you're not getting as much nutrients as you would if you ate your vegetable or fruit in its rawest form. And the whole idea is for you to get as much nutrients and fiber in your body as possible. So, of course, eating the fruit and vegetables in its rawest form will give you the best nutrients for your body.
Hmm. And I've also heard that eating too many cooked foods, even if it's like just cooked, veggies, that it can also build up mucus in the body.
Yes. So that's another thing. So the more cooked foods you're eating, it creates a coating, and that coating is going to cause mucus inside the body. So this is one reason why I suggest to people, if you're eating, of course, do some raw vegetables as well as cooked. So just balance out your meals so that you can try and decrease as much mucus in your body as possible.
Hmm. So when it comes to, the processed vegan foods, I wanted to speak on like how they affect the body because, a lot of the times we decide to tap into more so, vegan foods, the vegan lifestyle, and that's like the first thing that we go to because we're trying to break the addictions and stuff. But just reading the labels and like seeing all these different ingredients, like ingredients that you can't even pronounce, I feel like that's one of like the biggest red flags because what actually is this that I'm putting into my body? And we're just labeling it as vegan cheese or vegan ground beef and stuff like that. And I've just heard that some people have done their research and doctors and stuff, and they've claimed that, these processed vegan foods can be just as bad as, certain animal products.
Yeah, the I
Hmm.
yeah, I I must say I've smelled someone cooking a Beyond Meat patty, and I hate to say this, but it smells just like meat.
Hmm.
So when you turn the package around, what are you eating? Have you actually taken a look at all of the ingredients that's on the packages? Pay attention to your labels, people. It's so important. For example, peanut butter. If you're eating peanut butter should have two ingredients, palm salt and peanuts. If it has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ingredients, and then the ingredients you can't pronounce, don't put it inside of your body because do you know what it's doing to your body? So just
Hmm.
be mindful of the ingredients that's going on in foods. And just as you mentioned, Chef Angel, if you can't pronounce the words or even if it says vegan, look at everything and see what's included in your foods.
Because they definitely get you just labeling it as plant meat, so you think you're eating plants and stuff,
Yeah,
but it's like, mm-mm,
pay
mm-mm.
attention, be mindful.
Yeah, for sure. Um, And I don't know, I just recommend like definitely doing some research. You could even look on my page for a few examples of like substitutes if you're still having trouble, completely cutting off of the cooked foods and also letting go of what's familiar. I have like, different ground beef substitutes. I just use like walnuts and mushrooms and onions and stuff. That's, a lot better than the store-bought plant-based
Exactly.
meats and stuff. Um, so next, I wanted to talk a little bit on allergies and why people have reactions to certain foods or materials that other may not. I know you mentioned how everyone's body is different, but I don't know. I just really wanted to talk about allergies specifically. And like, is it all genetics?
So allergies is an immune system response to your body's and things that have gone on in your environment and your immune system as a kid and even as an adult. So for instance, as a kid, you may have been exposed to many vaccines because you needed those vaccines to go to school. So your immune response is going to be different than someone else who may not have been exposed to different vaccinations as a kid. So allergies is just an immune response that you may have been exposed to than someone else who may have a different allergy than you.
Yeah. So is it true that diseases can be hereditary, or is it just in the diet and lifestyle that you partake in?
So some people say it's hereditary, and I would say for some things can be hereditary, but mostly I want to say it's based on your diet and lifestyle changes. For instance, high blood pressure. We see high blood pressure is on the rise in our communities. And I want to say that it starts in the family. When you think of high blood pressure, you think of stress. Um, your arteries are being inflamed. You're getting plaque in the arteries, and it starts at home. Think back at you're living in a house with 3, 4, 5 people, stress. Everybody has different attitudes. Everybody's doing different things. So that's stress. That's the number one thing of high blood pressure. Everybody's eating the same meals at home. Nobody's cooking, or somebody else is cooking, and we're eating the processed foods. So that's inflammation that's going into the arteries. So we can't say that it's always hereditary. It's based on generation, generation, generation doing the same thing over and over. And that's why it's going to take one person out that household to just change the lifestyle of how we're eating so that we can live a longer life.
For sure. What do they call it? The generational curse breaker.
Yes.
I definitely have a lot of faith, like in this generation. I feel like, this is like the most aware that us humans have been. And then, especially with the resources that we have, the internet and stuff, how stuff is able to spread more quickly with the awareness. So, I definitely have a lot of faith within that. And just speaking a little bit back on the allergies, I just remember when, back before I went vegan, the doctors told me that I had severe seasonal allergies. Like it was really bad. Like I had the sneezes, I was coughing, my eyes had the discharge. I could barely open my eyes at some point. And they told me that pretty much I would have to take the allergy medication for the rest of my life. And I just noticed, even with taking that, I still had the symptoms like every 2 to 3 months. And I was just like, this isn't really doing anything. And I don't know, I've just always had a bad feeling about, taking those like type of supplements and stuff. And just feeling like there has to be some other way that I could, solve this. And yeah, and I thought that maybe it is just something that's hereditary, through genetics, because I wasn't the only person in my family that had it. But again, looking back at, to what you were saying, as far as, the generational thing, I'm literally living like the same type of lifestyle. I'm eating the same foods. So thankfully, I was led down a path of, becoming more aware of what I was consuming and seeing how that could possibly, play a part in that. So I definitely noticed once I did go vegan, started eating more healthier, that completely went away, like my allergy symptoms, and I was able to no longer take the medication. And I've been just fine so far. So
That's
definitely grateful for that. um, but as far as like, just, better health, the holistic lifestyle, and trying to be healthier,
mhm.
one thing is that everything is kind of tampered with. It seems that every day is something new, one thing after the other, that us humans have to watch out for and be careful with, even when it comes to our air quality. I remember we also had a discussion about that, how you can literally walk outside and your body is starting to absorb all the toxins. So it's kind of tough, and it can be kind of discouraging. So I don't know. With your position and just living out this lifestyle for the amount of years that you have, how do you feel that people can truly live a healthy lifestyle when so many of our resources are tampered with?
Great question. And there are things that we can do to help us reduce the amount of toxins and exposure that we're putting in our body. And for one, is get whole foods, whole fruits, whole vegetables, and try and get rid of the processed foods. Eating organic and locally, finding organic foods, and looking at our local produce markets in the neighborhoods. Reading your labels. We talked about making sure you're looking at your labels and Look at the ingredients on there. If there are ingredients you cannot pronounce or it's more than 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients, discard it. Exercise. It's important, you all, that we exercise every day. A little movement can go a long way. You have to move the body in order for the blood to flow. Taking breath work, deep breathing. Do you all know that? And it's a habit of all of us of shallow breathing. We're taking slow breaths. It's important that we do deep breathing so we can get the oxygen to flow throughout our organs. If not, our cells aren't getting any oxygen, and we need our cells to get oxygen. Be mindful of what you're eating. Take your time when we're eating, you all. We always on a rush, and it's like, I got to eat fast. Take your time when you're eating because your gut is so important. Our gut holds 75% of our immune system. And if your gut is not functioning properly, your immune system isn't functioning properly. And just trying to reduce stress. You know, I know we live in stressful times right now. Just taking some time out for yourself is important. Take time out for relaxation, meditation, and journaling are very beneficial to help you with reducing some of the toxins and just, leading yourself to a better lifestyle and healthier lifestyle.
Hmm. Yeah, what do they say? Stress is the number one killer.
Yes, it is.
Hmm. I remember you had said something about making sure our body is super active. I've also heard like us sweating, like the process of that is literally releasing the toxins as well.
Yes.
So yeah, that's definitely super important for anybody, even if you are on like a healthier diet, a raw diet, still doing that because
Mhm.
of like how toxins can still get in your system, especially when you are healthier. It seems as if you become more sensitive to certain things. So yeah. And even if you guys feel that you aren't necessarily, you know, interested in completely going vegan, like Chef A is, or I don't know, you feel like you just want to slowly but surely like lean towards that, or just even just try to live as healthy as you can with some of the foods that you grew up eating, like let's say meats and stuff. If you guys do feel like, you're not yet at that point, there are healthier, meats out there and, fresh caught produce that you could possibly, consume and find. And just to back off what you were saying as far as living a healthier lifestyle, ways that I try to maintain it. A lot of what you said, like the meditating, the breath work and stuff. I've heard that breath work is super essential for digesting the food too. It helps to digest it more. And of course, helping with anxiety. Farmers markets. Usually every state should have them somewhere, every city. But if not, of course, growing your own foods if you have the space. I feel like that's one of the number one things that I personally recommend over anything. Um, Consuming the more so natural spring water. I also like to consume herbal teas. I'm not a herbalist, but I am studying that. And just speaking of herbal teas, I wanted to also talk about, your tea parties. I had, taken a look at your page and I saw that, you decided to host one of those and you were also promoting some of your products. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, thank you, Angel. I also do tea parties. So Yaks Wellness holds tea parties for people that are interested in just having a gathering of people to talk about natural health and wellness or how we can empower each other to live ourselves naturally or um, basically just having a tea party to gather amongst each other and just know the benefits of how herbs are good for healing. And I also get into talking about how CBD will be great for healing of inflammation and joints and stress and anxiety for people. And I incorporate that along with the teas for relaxation.
Yeah, and if you guys have not, really checked out my page, we did just do a collaboration video with the CBD, so definitely check that out. And definitely check out, Yakima's page as well, my page if this is your first time, viewing my stuff as well. What's your at name on Instagram?
It is Yaks underscore wellness, WELLNESSS.
Mhm. And
And my
mine is,
website, oh yeah, my website is yakswellness.com.
yes, definitely go check out and support and purchase the products. And if you guys wanted to take a look at any of my recipes, my videos, mine is Halos Kitchen underscore. But if you missed that, I'll just have everything in the description down below. And yeah, that concludes, this topic. Definitely let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, you can comment that down below and we'll try to get back to you. So yeah, thanks again for tuning
Thank you
in.
so
You're
much.
checking out. Thank you.
Thank you.